This is a complex story. A 12-year-old brought a knife to school. There's a story behind it. Why did the 12-year-old do it? Well, there was racist bullying happening against the 12-year-old, and it was not dealt with. There was no response from the school, no protection. Let's put up the school full mask. So this 12-year-old biracial child is facing a felony charge after he brought a butterfly knife to school after being bullied and repeatedly called the N-word. This was at Ottawa Middle School located in Kansas. The grade schooler, who is Black and Native American, reportedly also was told to, and I quote, go back to picking cotton, end quote. Let me give you background. According to the attorney, Vincent Rivera, the bully allegedly told the boy to stop coming to school or I am going to hurt you prior to hitting the child and knocking him down. The abuse started when the family moved to Ottawa in 2019, and the child then refused to get out of bed to go to school because he was afraid to go to school. In December, the bully knocked the child down and told him, quote, if you keep coming to school, it's going to get worse, all right? So do you think the child is evil doing what he's doing against the biracial student? Well, he's mimicking. He's mimicking behavior, right? It's called mimicry. There's more. The child's youngest or younger brother was also bullied at his elementary school and on the bus. And his mother said it got worse when he began attending Ottawa Middle School. She said she complained almost daily to the school, daily, every day. But the bullying simply worsened. Her younger son was called dirty N-word as the bullies pulled his hair, prompting his mother to shave his head so that he no longer had to endure having his hair pulled. Sad state of affairs. Security footage of the bullying identified the students who bullied the middle schooler, but to his knowledge, no one was ever punished. No one. And he said that he felt like the school prioritized the white students. Instead, her child was given a pass to leave the classroom to decompress from the abuse. The incident was reported to the school board. She reportedly never received a response. He was told, quote, no one likes Black kids here at our school. The older brother also was hit with a piece of wood near the school and the police were called. However, no one was ever held accountable. No one was arrested. After his mother told school officials about her son being bullied, no action was ever taken. And she was told she would be charged with truancy, a crime, if her son did not return to school. Understand the scenario that has now been presented. Please get what's happening with this one family. You literally have one student who's making the same complaints as another student. They're brothers. They've experienced the same thing within this system of education. This brother is trying to navigate the waters, the social atmosphere of being bullied. Complaints are coming in daily from the mother. Nothing is being done. Child is being not only harassed, but physically assaulted. Hair being pulled, hair gets cut. To eliminate that, nobody does anything. And then they threaten the mother, if your child doesn't come back to this school, we are going to have you arrested. So the child does something unthinkable. After his mother told school officials about her son being bullied, no action was taken, and she was told she would be charged with truancy if her son did not return. The boy did return to school, but he decided to bring a knife, 1.5-inch butterfly knife to be exact, which he said he did not plan to use unless he was attacked again by the bullies. I believe him because there's no report of him ever being the aggressor nor even defending himself. His mother also said that she didn't trust the authorities at the school to protect her child. The student is now charged. According to Kansas City Star, the boy appeared in a Franklin County court on June 26th for a criminal threat charge that if committed by an adult would be considered a level 9 felony. The state also reportedly threatened a child support order against the boy's mother in the instance he will be removed from the home. She and her husband moved to the area from Oklahoma to be closer to her husband's family. The outlet is not publishing their names for the safety of the family. Let's go to the superintendent of schools. You have Superintendent Dr. Ryan Cobb, and you also have Franklin County Attorney Brandon L. Jones, all right? They are, well, leaders, allegedly. So you have a tragedy visited upon one child, a family. Nothing is done. Repeated attack, repeated conflict, repeated complaints. Nothing is done. And then an arrest is threatened. Child goes to school to stop his mama from getting arrested. And in the process of doing so, he carries a knife. Violence is never the answer. We stand by that. It's not the answer. But you got to take into context some of these things that happen. We call this contributory negligence of the institution. The school itself is at least partly, if not majority of the blame here for what transpired. Ben, thoughts?
Yeah, it is complicated because you can't be encouraging kids to take knives to school. But as somebody who was bullied myself and beaten up a couple times in elementary school, I understand that instinct. I remember seeing a pocket knife in my parents' house and thinking I'd like to bring that to school. I can't remember if I did or not. I don't think I did, but I might have put it in my bag. I can't really remember back in the day. Probably not, in case they want to come after me this late. Right. But you can't blame a kid who's getting beaten up, the scariest thing you can possibly obviously go through, from bringing that knife. Story also said that he was playing with it at his desk. You think, well, you definitely shouldn't be brandishing it, but then you understand that too, because he's trying to show the bullies, I got a knife, trying to let word spread, don't mess with me anymore. And so while I do understand probably punishment was appropriate because he had a knife, that should only ever be done after, and hopefully now at least it's being done with aggressive punishment to the bullies and a no tolerance policy for bullying. Yep. You can't do it. You just can't do it. Now this kid and his brother have to spend their whole lives, their whole childhoods rather, their whole schooling at a boarding school away from their family because the school didn't do its job. So, and also an important fact to note, this child brought a knife to school for self-defense after being beaten up, facing a felony. A cop that beat up a defenseless man, beat him up, did the action, misdemeanor.
Yep, come on, man, exactly. And I will say this for the record. This is an adult created scenario. This whole thing was created by the adults in charge because it was their job to intervene at some level of this to make it right, and they never did.